As long as you don't have the expectations of making huge money too quickly, then I think it's the right, just do it.
Yeah.
Right? Then you've got the long game in mind. You have to be 100% set. I'm going to be a broker the rest of my life. This is what I want to do. Then I think right out of college is just fine.
And to your point earlier, there's no right or wrong way to do it, and it's a great industry.
It's a great industry.
Welcome to our Industrial Advisors podcast. You have Bill Condon and Matt McGregor, and we have a 5-minute Friday today on getting into the brokerage industry right out of college. We both have kids graduating here in the next few weeks. My daughter Carly is graduating from Gonzaga this weekend, and Matt's son Lachlan is graduating from Baylor in 2 weeks. And so we feel, we took different paths into the industry, but...
You were right out of college.
Yep, I was right out of college.
12 years, 34, 12 years out of college.
Yeah, so as we were thinking about topics for this, I thought about what a great opportunity with kids graduating, just to talk about the idea and the pros and cons of getting into the business right out of college versus coming in from a different career. Both have proven to be successful if you go about it the right way. But talk a little bit about your experience and your thoughts on entering the industry with a career behind, with already, 10, 12 years being into a different career.
Well, first, I don't think there's any right or wrong to this answer. I could talk both sides.
Correct.
Honestly.
We usually can about everything. Yeah.
I think for me personally, it was a distinct advantage coming in at 34, coming from sales. I knew how to sell, and I just had to learn real estate. I think it's easier being 34. I think it can be very difficult walking in at 21, 22, 23 years old, not only competing with older people that are knowledgeable, but then you look young.
Yeah.
Like, how much can you possibly know?
Right.
And I would say in today's environment, it's even tougher than when you came in, because I think when you came in, you got your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and you went down to the valley and you went door knocking, and a lot of decision makers were there. I think a lot of decision makers aren't there as much as they used to be. And I think cold calling is harder on the phone, right, than it used to be. And so those combined things, being a young person coming out of college, I think that makes it tougher.
Some of the things, I enjoyed getting into it right out of college. There are advantages to doing that.
Yes.
Because you don't have any expectations of, oh, I'm too prideful to go do this or whatever. Like, I would
I'm too
do
good
anything.
for door knocking.
I would go do anything.
Yes.
And the other thing is you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
So oftentimes, if you do have a level of knowledge when you get into something, like, it's easy to assume, okay, well, this person's working with this person or whatever. And like, I would call anybody. I would go into it. I would call anybody. I didn't know the difference of, like, okay, this guy might be working with this other company. I just didn't know. So I'd go. There were no barriers for me when I got in, which I think is helpful. And then, I always feel like the training, if you have sales background, that is certainly helpful. But I always felt like the best way for me to learn the industry is just to go do it. And so for someone, I was super motivated, like someone that's really motivated. It's just like, hey, I'm going to go get it right out of college. It can be beneficial just to go do it, get trained right into the space and just go do it.
The issue with that is, and I agree, if everybody approached it the way you did and don't care, and they're not getting beat up by the constantly getting turned down, and they're willing to do 60 hours a week and they're door knocking, and they've got a couple unique skill sets, you did, big personality, connect with people, then it's going to work, right? The issue is people go in and then they fade out.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, where's the money? I thought this was easy.
Right.
And you got to get through a few years of getting your butt kicked.
But you learn from that.
Yes.
The other thing that I always thought was one challenge with coming into the industry from another industry is sometimes when I would talk to people that were doing that, they would say, well, I have relationships that are built in. And that rarely ever transferred over, because everybody that's in our space, like the people that you may think that you're going to go do their business, those people already usually have relationships in the CRE space. So coming in with the idea of like, oh, I got relationships built in place, it rarely works out.
It didn't work out for me.
No, when you come into this business, that's when you build the relationships in the CRE space.
And to your point, if you start right out of college, then you're going to be able to build those relationships. And over years, you're going to pick off the gravy if you're working hard. And then a few years later, they're just going to be impressed because now they've built a relationship with you, or their guy retired, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That you're going to start to build. So that is an advantage.
Yeah.
Certainly, if you know right out of college, you want to be in commercial real estate and you want to be a broker, as long as you don't have the expectations of making huge money too quickly, then I think it's just do it.
Yeah.
Right? Then you've got the long game in mind. You have to be 100% set. I'm going to be a broker the rest of my life. This is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think right out of college is just fine.
To your point earlier, there's no right or wrong way to do it, and it's a great industry.
It's a great industry. Yeah, it's as good as it has ever been, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage anybody that wants to do it out of college to give it a shot, but make sure that you don't need a lot of income for a while, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
So great industry, and congrats to all the graduates that are out there.
Yeah, congratulations. Happy Friday.